Hello and welcome to game number 3 of this best of 3. We are gonna see which one of these two teams will advance to the playoffs of the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament, as of course Fnatic and KP find themselves in the winners bracket finals, and one of these two teams will be moving on and the other one will have to face TCM in the loser bracket finals after this best of 3. I am not by myself. Not 100% sure if we will actually have stats today. I think we will have stats. Yeah, we will have stats. Yes, we are gonna have stats. So Musik is providing you with the stats of this game, and of course the person that you'll hear talk and who still hasn't come up with a better introduction for himself, it is Kanaz. Welcome back.
Oh, I'll think about it.
Yes.
Someone said that you... No, never mind. We'll get that. I'll think about it.
No, so what did someone say? What?
People in chat had ideas earlier. I don't remember what they were now.
Damn. Come on again, people in chat. I'm gonna read them this time. Good. So KP took game number 2 very convincingly, while Fnatic took game number 1 really convincingly. One of the big differences for me was that, I mean, you already mentioned it during game 2, KP actually had a draft that they were comfortable with in the second game, while in the first game it looked like totally a bit off place. Fnatic, I didn't really feel like they had a lineup that was really special for them in game 2, as in I thought they would be okay with that lineup as well, in terms of experience and such, but in the end not winning it. What do you think that should change this game?
Well, I don't know. I think one of the most surprising things to me was that Trixie was playing the Kunkka and not the Darkseer in the last game.
True.
I feel like almost every game I see Darkseer for Fnatic, it's in the hands of Trixie. And it was just because of how they wanted to lane, and they wanted to send the Darkseer mid, so they just gave it to their typical mid player, I guess, but I think maybe that was somewhat unusual, and they have to be aware of the way KP usually want to play, where they're going to run sort of a team that can function on its own as 4 heroes, while Eternal Envy's farming. If they focus a lot to shutting down Eternal Envy's farm, they spend multiple heroes there, the other 4 are going to be taking advantage elsewhere, trying to kill their offlane hero, their mid lane hero, what have you. And maybe during this draft they can just grab a team that they're comfortable with, or maybe just one that has really good team fight and forces the issue very early. We saw that sort of in the first game where they had a great team fight initiator, and in the second game they really didn't have the same sort of initiation. They relied more on like disruption, maybe a great vacuum if they get that far, and it really never all came together.
Yeah, we're gonna see if they can get it this time. They pick up a Visage, a very all-round nice early game pickup that, well, late game is still pretty powerful as well, but that's at least no Tails hero secured. Naga Siren, the one that you already mentioned, banned out here again. We saw KP banning it out in the second game as well, because that first game indeed, I mean, they just used it very good, so they don't want to see that again. We've got a Bed Rider, a Tree, and a Wisp getting banned out as well, and KP, for the 3rd time in a row, have themselves a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, apparently they are really liking that hero right now, and I guess Come With Me played the first game, Bone 7 plays the second game.
True, yeah.
Who knows who's going to play it this game, if they're going to run it again as sort of the supporty, but not really support, or if they're going to send the mid, maybe in the offlane this game. And Fnatic going to go Dragonite, so it looks like that's probably their mid hero this time.
Yeah, already revealing that pretty early on, so KP, they have a chance to pick up one of those 3 core mid heroes like Pocket Queen of Pain and OD. And all of those 3 heroes should be winning the mid lane up against up against the Dragonite. And we'll see if they end up going for one of those. As of course, Puck has been banned out by Fnatic for the last 2 games. For the previous game, and Arteezy does like to play that hero. So we'll see if he gets it, or if they pick it up and it goes to Envy again. I'm not going to be convinced about that, but we'll find out sooner rather than later. Fnatic has already used quite a bit of their bonus time to decide what they were going to go for there. Only have half a minute left, while KP starts to use their bonus time right now as well. I mean, with the new drafting phase, this pick is just very important because there is going to be 2 new bans after this. So which hero do you want to pick up now that has the chance of getting banned out in the next phase? And one of those heroes would be a Bane, and they pick it up. So that's going to be their support, and Fnatic make sure they don't have to face Eternal Envy's anti-mage anymore, even though that wasn't really the reason why KP won in the previous game.
Well, Age didn't have that big of an impact in the game, but it did sort of define how Fnatic wanted to run their lanes, what they wanted to do. They were afraid, I guess, of the anti-mage as the game went on, so they are taking them out this way, and that opens them up to not necessarily having to lane how they did last game. Maybe they don't want to run sort of a weird aggressive tri-lane this time, or maybe they still will run an aggressive tri-lane. It's hard to say at this moment with most of the draft still unrevealed. Bane, though, with that pickup, they might sit him in the mid lane with whoever else is there and try and shut down the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight relies pretty heavily on last hitting with just auto attack damage, and Bane's the kind of hero that is great at just sitting in a lane and making sure someone can't last hit. So depending on what the rest of Fnatic's draft looks like, and particularly if they don't feel like they have to defend whoever Eternal Envy's on carry particularly well, they can just sit Bane somewhere else and keep that enfeeble up on a hero.
Very true. Can even run a bit mid to see if they can win the mid lane for whoever is going to be there. But yeah, we are going to have a Keeper of the Light and an Nyx Assassin getting banned out. Both heroes, of course, were present in the previous game, I believe. Were they? Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Bane and Nature's Prophet? Or?
Bane? Oh no, not Bane. I mean Nyx Assassin and Keeper of the Light.
Oh yeah, both those heroes were, and actually they both got banned out by the team who picked them up last time.
Yeah, okay, indeed. So let's see what KP is gonna ban out last, as they are again ticking into their bonus time. And it's all to make sure that they're only gonna have to play one more game instead of having to play 2 more at least after this one.
Yeah, neither team wants to lose this and then end up having to play another best of 3 just to move on in the into the next phase. But you also get an advantage for coming out through the winner's bracket, right?
I would expect you to be up against the number 2 of a different group.
Which, that's an advantage in itself. So, I guess I haven't looked at the brackets for the second phase yet, even if they're up yet. Yeah, I don't think I've even seen them posted
I don't think they are up
yet. Yeah, I don't think they're up yet. Regardless, there's probably going to be some sort of advantage, even if it's just you face whoever came out second in a group. You would want to face the weaker team going into the next step. So, that's an advantage in itself, and not having to play another best of 3, and there not being a chance for you to get kicked out. You also get the opportunity to still lose another match, I guess, later on without having trouble there. Because there'll be another set of losers brackets.
Yeah.
You want to win this game. You don't want to play,
do.
even if it is TCM that's in the bottom, and maybe both teams are probably pretty confident in their matchup against TCM. Just not playing again is always fine.
Yeah, you wanna it's Tuesday night. You want to be able to just, you know, have a free afternoon, or just maybe scrim, practice on some stuff that you want to practice on. I don't know. It's probably what they like. They want to play. They want to go through the winners bracket. Like, period. We've got a Rubik picked up by Fnatic, so that's going to be, well, a Rubik support together with a Visage support. Not really any specific kind of synergy other than just harass. Not really a specific aggressive trailing combination. That Dragon Knight, though, it's not specifically mid anymore. If he goes on a tri lane with a Rubik, it's actually pretty decent. Rubik can telekinesis someone while Dragon Knight already starts walking forward, and he can drop himself in melee range of the Dragon Knight, so that would be a Dragon Tail. But I'm still expecting Dragon Knight to be mid, but it's not really needed anymore. We're gonna see, though, as both teams, I have to say again, like, they're using so much time.
Yeah, they're really thinking about these picks. There's a lot of time spent on those bans, really trying to figure out what they thought the other team was going to do, what they were going to do, and what they need to take out as a result of it. KP, they still have the opportunity to pick up a puck again if they want to go for it, but not really doing too much yet. They're going to go with actually the Queen of Pain this game, so picking up a little bit of a different...
I like it, because it is different. Like, give us some different, like, heroes and styles. We haven't seen a Queen of Pain by RTZ yet, since... No, yesterday they wasn't playing that either, was he?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that's good, because we're gonna see what he can do with that. And it also means that Fnatic now has to be careful about what they want to do, because we still have got Puck, Storm, and OD in the pool if they want to try and go for that one mid, because mid Dragon Knight up against Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain will win. Might not be able to kill off Dragon Knight straight away, but it's definitely not going to be an easy matchup. But we'll find out of course, if they don't pick up an OD or something, I mean, if they do want to go for the Dragon Knight on a tri lane, then they don't really have to pick up a different mid straight away, because it's not like KP is gonna expect them not to run Dragon Knight mid. But we'll find out. We have got the Darkseer picked up, so that's an offlane. I have to just point out, Darkseer was still in the pool.
Yeah, 7th pick Darkseer, that's not something you see every day.
Exactly. I was actually already forgetting him purely because he's normally already picked up or banned out at this point.
10 seconds.
It's a very strong pickup to still be able to have for their offlane. I think Fnatic is going to be quite happy with that.
Yeah, definitely one of the stronger offlaners, and of course Trixie plays Darkseer very well. I was gonna say, it's possible they should have gone for something like Lord Druid and gotten a really farm-intensive team, just with how KP play. If they're gonna force it to go late game no matter what you do, you want to make sure you have the better late game, but they go with Darkseer instead. It gives them a little bit more better team fight. And of course, if Darkseer gets some early farm, he can have big team items like mech, like Pipe eventually, and then maybe into stuff like Scythe or Sheeva's Guard to help out your team. Whereas Lone Druid is going to be a lot of farming, and he can be a carry. So we'll see if they're going to run him safe lane Lone Druid or if they're going to offlane him.
Well, I have to say I'm quite surprised by this Chen ban, because I was expecting Nature's Prophet to go into the jungle, played by Come With Me again, and Lone Druid probably on the suicide lane with a Bane and something else on a safe lane farming, because Envy, I mean, he plays Lone Druid sometimes, but I'm expecting Bone 7 to play it. Like, I'm expecting still a carry to come out from KP, but it's a Chen that Fnatic ban out. Interesting to see. Let's see if they're gonna be right, though. 1 second was all they had left. Maybe it was a rush ban. Could happen. And Weaver still
Both
getting
teams
banned
have
out.
1 second left.
Weaver getting banned out. KP, they played it in the previous game. They know how annoying he can be, and they don't want to deal with it themselves. We still have a carry missing for Fnatic, depending on what they're gonna do with their Dragon Knight, obviously.
Yeah, it's possible they want to dodge that Queen of Pain now with the Dragon Knight. I don't know if that's the right call. Dragon Knight's just really not that great of a safe lane farmer type carry, and you can't really offensively try him either. Just he doesn't do that much in that kind of a lane. He's really better in the mid role. People have compared him to better Beastmaster because he has a long stun that's ranged once he's got his ultimate form. And yeah, they go Spectre. I think it's better to just pick up a hard carry here and let Dragon Knight go in the mid lane. He probably won't get great farm, but he's also pretty unlikely to die. Dragon Knight's just a rather resilient hero.
It's kind of tricky though, because if this mid lane is not really going well for the Dragon Knight, who is going to keep Fnatic in the game in the mid game if that Queen of Pain gets her way?
I think they're going to probably have to lean heavily on Darkseer and Visage, if that is the case. I would expect Visage to try and get at least a little bit of farm. Maybe he's the one who's mostly pulling in the jungle, or maybe he rooms a little bit and sets up kills that way. But Darkseer is probably going. Yeah, it's just
like it.
Not a hero we see a ton of, but it does give them some good team fight. They don't have a lot of good team lockdown. They have Nightmare from Bane,
Blink Burrow Strike.
Blink Burrow Strikes. I mean, if they Blink Burrow Strike. If he gets more I guess if he gets like a 4-man Burrow Strike, like he got that 4-man Impale last game, sure, everything's good. If you get 1 or 2 people, it's obviously less good. Yes,
and then you have to get lucky with entangles and such, and Nightmare 1, Fiend Grip the other, kill them all. Good workout for them. I mean, we have got an offlaner, Nature's Prophet, who will probably end up going into the jungle, depending on how Fnatic are gonna run their lanes. There's not really that much that Nature's Prophet can do against the Spectre farming, though. I mean, Spectre will still get that farm. And, yeah, Envy will be on the Lone Druid, so it will be a Sand King and a Bane. I think they could actually try to roam a bit. Maybe make that mid lane, of course, miserable, because that's something that you can definitely do. Dragon Knight needs levels to be able to do something. He doesn't have an escape, and I'm kind of thinking Rubik should probably roam around and be pretty close by the Dragon Knight to help him out if need be, and I think it's going to be needed. Because if the pressure goes on that mid lane, I already mentioned, like that Queen of Pain will try to dominate the mid game, and there's not that much that Fnatic can do apart from trying to make sure it doesn't happen. That sounded very Captain Obvious, didn't it? It did.
Sort of, but I mean, it's a lot of things that we say are probably obvious. We have to talk about them. Yeah, we try and say non-obvious things too. We have to talk about a lot of things. Not everyone's going to realize everything, maybe.
That's true.
I guess. Regardless, yeah, there're going to be a lot of roaming, I think, and especially with the lone druid as your safe lane farmer, you don't really need the supports to be in that lane. He's going to be up against Darkseer. It's not a particularly terrible matchup for him. It can go either way depending on player skill. If someone makes just like a little bit of an over aggression, gets slightly out of position, takes more harass than they expected, the lone druid can die very quickly to just a surged up Darkseer with Ion Shell. And then in the same vein, if there's an entangle that just happens at an awkward time, you can get that kill on the Darkseer very easily as well. So we'll see what ends up happening if they just leave it that way. The supports try and move around, get kills elsewhere. Maybe try and gank up that Spectre. I'd be somewhat confused if they ran like aggressive tri-lane, Sand King, Nature's Prophet, and Bane. That seems really weird. But they can definitely roam the two supports.
Yeah, and they kind of have to, because you want to have your lone druid to be level 5 really fast and not try to steal too much experience away from him, because when he is level 5 you can leave him alone and you can just be by yourself and, you know, as support, just get your experience from all over where you can and try to maybe go for more ganks and roaming. As we do have a pause, Arteezy is waiting for something. Maybe he's having... I want to make jokes about that, but I shouldn't. I'm not going to make jokes about that. So, for Fnatic, on the dire side, we've got Era playing the Spectre this game. It will be Fly playing the Rubik. No tail on his visage. No surprise there. Hani will be playing the Dragon Knight. And Trixie, indeed, as already mentioned, will be playing the Darkseer. And I'll leave KP for you.
Yep, and my Skype is playing video ads again. I don't know why.
why does your Skype have video ads like mine doesn't?
I don't know what's going on. It's every time it's starting.
But you said that they make sounds.
Yeah, it's playing sound video ads. I don't know what's going on at all. It usually doesn't do this. I think it's when music keeps leaving and joining the call, it keeps coming up. I don't know. Regardless, KP, we're gonna have Pylai die on the Bane Elemental. Lone Druid being played by Eternal Envy. Come with me on the Sand King, Arteezy on the Queen of Pain, who's like in a ball in the sky right now.
That's actually pretty cool.
And Bone 7 on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, that's everybody, of course, for KP. Nice set for the Queen of Pain. Did he watch enough sets? Can we see that? There you go. No, he did not. Well, he did on... No, he did not. Well, he did on his headpiece. Yeah, he got the most watched for everything apart from for... This is surprising because you would expect everything to unlock at the same time, but apparently the wraps aren't unlocked just yet.
No, he only has... Those aren't the same set.
What?
All of his items are from different sets.
Doesn't he have the set for the Premier League?
Yeah,
oh no,
only
the
armor.
wings are of course the one from Anuxi. I recognize those.
Yeah, and the dagger and horns are not from the Premier League one either.
The horns aren't?
No, it's only the armor that's from the Premier League for whatever reason.
Well, then I'm
he's got
disappointed,
4
but it still
different
looks kind of
things.
cool.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, I think the dagger's from a different box as well. Hey, come with me, he's not muted. Because we're in a private lobby, he shouldn't be muted, right?
Private lobbies are not indeed muted. Lucky for people that are muted. Want to be able to talk? I believe when the mute was just in place, when you were indeed still muted at a private lobby, that we were at some point having a team that had all 5 players muted.
The battle begins.
You can't communicate that, it was so silly.
Yeah, KP are all muted, I think, right now.
Yeah. It's silly. Well, we're gonna see who is gonna go where. We already have a courier standing around the tree line, wanting to wait for his Hani to come back. Hani who went for first item bottle. And he's gonna have no tail next to him. They know that a lot of pressure comes from this middle lane. So we'll have a semi-dual lane. I say semi because no tail will definitely not be around the whole time. We also have Pylai die there though, trying to make sure that Hani doesn't win this middle lane. So semi-dual lane versus semi-dual lane in the mid. Nobody on the bottom lane just yet, but Trixie is making his way there, so that will be Trixie up against Envy there, who has got a support Sand King, who will pull and stack. Nature's Prophet did rotate into that jungle as expected, leaving the top lane entirely over for Era to farm. And right now we already have No Tail rotating into the jungle, probably going to try to stack a little bit, but... I mean, it's already slightly in favor of Hani, or am I seeing that wrong? Like experience-wise, that is, not last hit-wise. But I guess it will turn out to be even. Look at the harassment already going on. Lucky for Hani, he has a bottle, but So much pressure on this mid lane, I think.
Yeah, and Eternal Envy walked his bear all the way up to the top lane. It's running back now, and I think he was trying to block the stack, but he was early and then just like ran it out before the minute mark. So it ended up getting the stack anyways, and now we're going to see pulls come out from Fly. I just don't know why he would run it all the way up there if he wasn't going to wait it out, actually.
Maybe he thought he was going to have an easier time on the bottom lane, but those iron shells really make sure that he needs his bear. And his bear is actually still not there, he's sitting in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, I think someone else might be microing it for him. I can't imagine he's actually microing it right now.
Yeah, look at that.
Now that he's
Ooh.
got level 2, he can summon it back to him.
Yeah, for a second there, Honey was gonna send the bottle back with 1 bottle charge left. You can do courier still moves at normal speed. But then he realized, you know what, I need that charge, so he just kept it, and the courier is not gonna be there. If only RTZ knew that there was a courier there, it would be so dead by now. But he doesn't know.
Yeah, and he's not gonna dive a tower, not at like level 2, just because he thinks that. I guess he's level 3 now, but still, he has no real way of knowing the courier's there, and that's a really aggressive dive. If he blinks in for it, and there's any mana on Hani, he can run up and get that stun, it would be pretty miserable for RTZ. He's taking a lot of harass here.
Yeah. No-Till coming in once again. He needs to be here, though. He needs to help out. At least make the middle lane even, rather than being it in favor of the Queen of Pain. Lone Druid has been left alone. Darkseer has taken refuge in the jungle as well, realizing that he would probably get more there. Can't really stop a Lone Druid, especially not since, you know, once he gets level 5, you can't really do anything anymore. And just leaving was an option, and he went there. So he's gonna be sharing experience, basically. Well, sharing, being competing. Whoa, wait a second, Hani is gonna go down. That's a first blood. No-Till coming in too late. The slow was still there. But it doesn't matter, and that is gonna be number 1 kill on the board. RTZ picking up, and look, the odds changed.
Yeah, they actually changed towards Fnatic though, who lost the last game.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
But you have to like the poll is being done after the draft, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's something that we have to take into account. So people like the draft of Fnatic more this game. Maybe it's a Spectre.
I mean, people do seem to like the Spectre. I don't really get it why people love the Spectre, but whatever. It's definitely a little bit, I think, better than what they had going on last game. They're also laning a little bit more efficiently, I think, than they did. They don't have to force any really big rotations early on to try and dodge another lane, because they end up with like Weaver against Lifestealer, and Lifestealer just got absolutely destroyed. But Hani does need to be careful. He can't afford to give up any more kills really to Queen of Pain, and Queen of Pain with that haste is going to go top now.
Yeah, Honey getting a lot of harassment. What?
Fly is in a lot of trouble.
Is Fly in a lot of trouble? He is. Oh, here comes Era though, but the Sonic Wave, that's Era in a lot of trouble. He goes down first. Fly still in some trouble because RTZ is not going to let this go. I mean, he has a haste run. Why should he let it go? No boots up on Fly, and that's just going to be a kill. At least Fly tries to do as much damage as he can before he dies. But that's a double kill for Queen of Pain that you did not want to win mid lane. You actually sacrificed support levels on No-Tail to try and make that mid lane going the way of you, or at least making sure that Queen of Pain didn't have a too easy time there. But, I mean, that's a killing spree right there.
Yeah, killing spree. Queen of Pain has every kill in the game. RTZ doing very, very well. Spectre's getting pretty good farm, though. Has phase boots picked up now. That death like hurts, but it's not the worst thing that ever has happened. Eternal Envy doing okay in the bottom lane as well though, and he has a Midas picked up. So he's going to continue getting big farm, and this is what they like to do. RTZ going to move around, has this mid-game hero in the form of the Queen of Pain, who has some scaling, can sort of be a semi-carry role as the game goes on. And Eternal Envy with a really, really hard carry, just going to pick up Midas, farm away, while RTZ either carries the game to where Eternal Envy never needs to do anything.
Yeah,
or
Era is in some trouble. It's gonna be Fly that ends up going down though. Or will he? No, he won't. No, he won't. RTZ not able to get it. In comes No-Tail. Can they get it done? The dagger already hit. There is a blink and a scream though, and that could be trouble, but they're not gonna force the issue here. They are knowing that Era is indeed a threat, and oh, if he knew that Fly was there, that's a dead Fly, but he doesn't know it, so it's good for Fly. But yeah, I mean, they know that Era is a threat there, so they do try to make sure that he is gonna get shut down a little bit. Talking about shutting down, Era, or sorry, Trixie in a lot of trouble here, getting sprouted up. Darkseer Wall did go down, he did get some illusions, but he doesn't get a kill with it. Apart from the bear, I mean, he killed off the bear, which is nice. But that is a Darkseer going down. There is a resummon on the bear, of course. 4-0 in favor of KP right now.
Yeah, those bear kills are very valuable right now, so he got quite a bit of gold right before he died. Unfortunately, he still does die, picks up a headdress and TP scroll. So we'll be back in lane, and mid lane, Hani's in trouble again. Looks like he's fine.
Yeah, well, he's gonna live. If he's fine, I'm not sure though. He's taking a lot of damage.
He also needs to be careful. RTZ popped that regen rune, and he's gonna bottle crow.
He has a sonic wave. Oh,
yeah, if he had come back with half health, he'd be dead to RTZ. Just blink in, scream, and sonic wave.
Yep, he might still do that though. Yeah, although Hani is getting some more HP back, but sonic wave might actually be enough here. But no tail being there kind of stops RTZ from wanting to go too aggressive. I mean, the risk is still definitely there to get a dragon tail in your face, and all of a sudden, could be turning around for the worst. Could be turning around for bad. I don't know how you say that.
Worse. For the worst.
For the worst. There we go. I knew it was something like that. Honey's still hanging around. The courier is of course coming with his bottle again. So, but RTZ's still sitting very comfortable in this mid lane. He knows that there's two people. He's not threatened though, but maybe he should, because Hani does have his level 6 and could turn around for a dragon tail if he just popped his bottle charges. But in the end, not goes for it. Just goes for some last hits, which he's not really getting all that much of in terms of cores. He's getting the least farm of everybody, including Nature's Prophet that is jungling. And highest is of course RTZ, who's sitting on 3-0. Nightmare goes off on Era, and this could be more trouble than he was in before. Here comes a Burrow Strike, and that's gonna be one dead Spectre for the second time this game. He did pick up his face boots and his Purma shield, but other than that, I think we can consider him getting shut down quite a bit.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling now, and we can see that in terms of net worth, the 3 cores coming out from KP, they're all out farming anyone on the side of Fnatic. And that's problematic because Fnatic don't really have the greatest mid game right now. They can just say, well, we only need some farm, and then we're going to start forcing team fights and be able to take it that way. KP have pretty much as much team fight right now as what Fnatic have going on. Dragon Knight, he needs a lot of farm really to do a lot in this mid game. Darkseer obviously pretty powerful, but again, like you mentioned in the draft, they don't have really that much.
And the question is, who is going to make sure that Fnatic is going to be staying in the game? Because there's not going to be Spectre anymore. There's not going to be Dragon Knight. Is it going to be the Darkseer? I don't think so. Like one of the good things for Fnatic at the moment is that it is KP that they're facing. One of the least, like, they're not going to be aggressive yet. Like, they're okay with farming. They are a team that is known for, you know, dragging games out for longer, and at this point that might actually work in Fnatic's favor, because of course the longer they have, the more chance they have, the more time they have to make sure that Spectre gets some extra farm, Dragonite gets some extra farm, etc.
The biggest problem with that though is that there are 2 Midases up, and Trixie gonna get caught by the Fiend's Grip.
Well, the top lane, or where was that? Bottom lane,
Bottom,
sorry.
bottom lane, yeah.
Yeah, ownage, 6-0. It is pretty troublesome, and they don't have kill potential. So I guess in terms of kills, it's not so surprising that there's no real kills of Fnatic. It is kind of bad that we don't see more protection from Fnatic. Them knowing that this is indeed a lineup where they can't really get anything done and where they just have to play safe. They only got 1 ward up, and that's on the top lane. No other wards are up. For Fnatic, that is.
Yeah, and it's just a question of how much will the wards really even do at this point. RTZ already moved around, slowed down Spectre's farm quite a bit, and Spectre's far enough behind Lone Druid at this point, and also Lone Druid has that Midas that the gold advantage is just going to keep building up at this point. If they don't want to move around and they're fine just like with what the team matchups will be, they could sit in all of their respective lanes and just farm, force Fnatic to do something here. Because a double Midas, you're not going to actually out-farm them, even if the game goes late.
Yeah, but farm means a bit more on the Spectre, I think, than on the Lone Druid. But it will really depend though, like the split push of a Nature's Prophet. Cannot be underestimated at all. Here's gonna be the first tower down, by the way. Envy able to get the kill. No deny for Trixie, who was sitting around there and who's actually gonna be maybe having some trouble is if there's gonna be an entangle, which there wasn't. 4 people middle from KP. Hani, I think. Oh, the jukes! But I think he's still dead. Sonic Wave comes through as well, just to steal that kill. Epicenter, Trixie, Fiend's Grip, Trixie. Gunner as well. No-Tail came in as well though, but I think he is going to be regretting that decision. Will end up going down as well. That's 3 down for 0. Fly, level 4. Nicely done, Arteezy taking over the Nightmare. Very friendly to allow Pylai to get the last hit if he actually gets it. No, he comes in to take the kill. Oh no, Pylai still gets it. Double kill for Pylai, 4 people dead. Fnatic. I mean, Fnatic is a TI3 invitee team. They're not playing as such.
No, it's 10-0 KP. They're taking towers. They're out farming in every. They won pretty much every lane at this point. Fnatic are in this position now where they don't have a team that really comes back from this very well. They need farm to come back from it, and they're not going to be able to find it. Spectre's up there farming away, trying to get something. It looks like maybe he bought something. Yeah, he's finished Drum now. But Drum, that's not the kind of item that's really going to suddenly make you great at fighting. It makes you a little bit faster. If you get involved in fights, you can try and chase a little bit better, but you don't have the damage you really need. And, yeah, Nature's Prophet just moves up here, is going to start split pushing, and Era just kind of forced to watch.
Yeah, Fnatic is still sitting in boot camp in Belgrade, right? They're sitting there until CI3?
I don't know if they're staying till TF3. I'm pretty sure they're still there now, though.
Maybe something went wrong today. Maybe they I don't know, they had too much to eat or something. Because, I mean, this is really not the Fnatic that we know.
Well, they played pretty well the first game, but they're getting outlaned pretty heavily here.
And I think the first game, like, we already decided that it was also KP's draft that was just a bit off for them, rather than Fnatic playing extra strong.
Yeah, I guess it's true. It felt like KP got a little bit outdrafted. They tried to react a little too hard to the OD. And they took care of that in the successive games, and Fnatic didn't really have the surprising draft to catch them off guard. But they've lost like 4 towers in the last 3.5 minutes. That's not ideal, to say the least.
Look at that gold graph. I mean, it's going towards the 14k. Kills and towers and farm on lanes will do that to you. Experience graph towards the 10k as well. And it looks like KP wants to try and bait something out here on the top lane. It is Fnatic that initiates though. Hani, bit of trouble. Sonic Wave hits on 2. That's going to be No-Tail trying to fly for his life. Epicenter will chase him down and kill him off. Dragon Knight already down. Nightmare will hold in place Trixie as Era will get picked off and Trixie gets sprouted up. And that will be Trixie dead as well. And nobody survives here. The GG in 13 minutes gets cold. Fnatic get wiped off the map. 15-0. And we will see them again though. We'll see if they can do better up against TCM Gaming, who is going to be waiting for them in the loser bracket finals.
Yeah, 5-for-0 fights are not something you can do when you're at 14 minutes in the game. When you lose that fight, you're not coming back from that. Not against the professional team, unless they're doing something really, really silly. Which again, that's why professional teams, you expect them not to be doing that. To completely throw after winning 5-for-0 fights. They took a 5th tower, they could have taken pretty easily a 6th if they just rotated the mid lane. But KP, they looked dominant this game.
They did. More so, I think Fnatic's draft was a bit off. I mean, they didn't draft anything for the mid game. And they did try, like they knew, like with the draft that they had to focus a bit on the mid lane and try to have No-Tail around there. But, I mean, it was obvious for us. We knew it, and therefore, I mean, you're gonna assume that everybody knows it. Including KP, and they made sure they won that mid lane, and then they won the game. Arteezy was everywhere, and Fnatic just had nowhere left to go at some point. We are gonna see Fnatic taking on TCM Gaming, so I'm hoping you're gonna stick around for that one, because it should be a great matchup as well, especially considering then, like, if Fnatic is playing a bit below their standards, we're gonna assume that TCM is playing a bit above their standards, as they are having to win this best of 3, otherwise they will be dropped out and they don't want to. Let's see if they can do that. If TCM can make our game up against, or their game up against Fnatic a bit of a even matchup. I think that will already be, like on paper, be a good showing. But we'll see. Of course, with me here is Musik. You'll see stats from him inside the game client. You can follow him on twitter.com/musicstats with a K. And of course, my co-caster is Kanaz. And you will be able to see him on Twitter and Twitch. Different names though. On Twitter it is Kanaz Dota, and on Twitch it is Kanaz Ta. So we are jumping ourselves into the third game, so stick around. We are watching the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament, and this is this was the winners bracket finals. We're moving on to the loser bracket finals. It's of Group B, so this is group stages still. So stick around. Dota time in a moment.